One thing I've learned in crypto is that in every cycle there will be capitulations. And this cycle is no different. And that's why this week, in fact, once you learn to identify these cycles, once you've been here for a while and you learn how to identify these cycles, when others are fearful, you'll be the one buying. And that's why when FTX went down and we had the big capitulation of the last cycle and everyone was fearful and everyone was running away, I was buying and I've made a huge return. I landed up buying Solana for $13. And as you know, that Solana today is over $140. This week, I saw the same pattern of capitulation. And whilst everyone was running away and everyone was fearful, I was buying. And not only was I buying, I also tweeted, despite the backlash that influencers like me get when we get it wrong, I tweeted that we're either at or near a bottom. And since then, this tweet happened at 54,000 on Bitcoin exactly. Since then, we've had a huge recovery on the market. Now, I know that a lot of people actually missed this recovery because they were the ones that were actually running away. And now the big question that you guys are asking yourself is, well, is it too late or should I be getting into the market now? And that's why I thought I'd come to you on a Saturday and we could talk about whether it's too late, whether you should be buying into the market now, or whether there's more blood ahead. So, Saturday show, unexpected show, but as you know, we're going to be here every single day, bring you crypto love and crypto wisdom. Let's get the show on the road, guys. Tell you one thing, I'm really on a mission since I got back from LA to be here each and every single day when this commotion is happening, when this crazy market is happening. I'm here, I'm determined to be here 7 days a week to bring you crypto love and crypto wisdom. So if you appreciate that, and I think a lot of you do, what you need to do is, wow, look at these subscribers. Just go. Subscribe to the channel, also smash the like button. That's how we get distribution for this content, especially when we come to you on a Saturday and no one's expecting a Saturday show. The only way that the algorithm knows that we're here and we're doing a live show is when you guys smash the like button. So I'll be here each and every day, bring you crypto love and crypto wisdom. I'll be back here again tomorrow. All you need to do is subscribe, smash the like button. Let's see if we can get to 1 million subscribers. Also, I mean, the reason why I came here today is because I know a lot of you actually missed the bounce. And you don't need to be embarrassed about it because this was one of the scariest events that happened in crypto for a long time. But the reality is, once you've been here for a few cycles, you learn to identify when you get these capitulations, and you learn to identify whether they are fundamental in nature or whether they are temporary in nature. And I always said, I did a show this week and I said, look, Mt. Gox is temporary. This was actually priced into the market, or should have been priced into the market. The biggest issue that happened was that they dropped this announcement, or they dropped the first transaction and the announcement on July 4th when the markets were closed and the ETFs were closed. And that's why I said to you guys, I think that was the capitulation event of this cycle. And one thing I know about capitulation events is that once you learn to identify them, if you can buy when others are fearful. I mean, just look at this buy over here. And I think a lot of you will actually remember this buy. When Solana was at $13, I jumped in. There's a screenshot here. I just didn't feel like opening that portfolio. But I felt the same way this week. And I said, okay, I think that this is a capitulation event. You need to be buying as much as you can. I know a lot of you bought. I know some of you didn't buy. And that's why we've got to talk. That's why I'm here today, to tell you guys, I'm going to show you 1 or 2 things that you can do if you didn't buy. You'll also see that I tweeted that the worst is over. And I think that really did mark a period when the worst was over. That was, I think, yesterday. It was about 24 hours ago. And what you can see since about 24 hours ago is that we've literally had a V-shaped recovery. In fact, this V-shaped recovery is, I just want to show you, we were at 57,700 before the Mt. Gox announcement. So this was just this period over here is actually the period before the Mt. Gox announcement. And we were at 57,700. We're now at 57,282, which means that the market is now rationalizing the fact that they knew that this Mt. Gox unlock was going to happen, that this Mt. Gox unlock is actually not as bad as everyone made out to be. We did a show earlier this week which kind of said, look, number one, it's not like they're dumping $7 billion worth of stock of Bitcoin immediately. That's not what's happening. We did a whole spreadsheet. I don't know if you guys saw the show. That's why I did another emergency show yesterday. We did a spreadsheet. We kind of showed that if you look at it like this, what you'll realize is that it's actually only 4% of the ETFs, of all the Bitcoin in the ETFs, that are going to be sold in the next 4 months, which means that like each ETF has to, or the ETFs have to absorb 1% of the supply that they've absorbed in the last 5-6 months in the next 3 or 4 months. So that's why I, despite all the conviction or all the hate that influencers like me get, or high profile people like me get when we get something wrong, I was willing to say that the worst was over, and I was willing to say that we're at or near a bottom, simply because I've seen this before. Now, I mean, can there be more selling? Can there be more fight? Of course there can be. Of course there can be. But I think that the panic event is over, and the market is starting to rationalize that. The market is starting to rationalize that that the worst may actually be over, and that this wasn't actually such an unexpected event, and that maybe the reality is that maybe the market is starting to realize that you might have missed one of the generational buying opportunities, or maybe not generational, but certainly one of the big buying opportunities of the cycle. And I don't blame you, because it was scary. In fact, finally, we are seeing the fear and greed at 26, and we haven't seen the fear and greed at 26. Let's just actually see when the last time the fear and greed was at 26. It was a long time ago. It wasn't even in the last year. Let's just quickly see when the last time fear and greed was at 26. It was December 2022. That was the last time that the fear and greed was at 26. And we wanted a fear and greed reset. So as some people were asking, or some people were saying or questioning whether we're still in a bull market, I said to you guys, we are firmly in a bull market. And today I saw 2 or 3 things that justify even more why we're in a bull market. In fact, what I said to you guys was that because of the ETF, this bull market, even now, is much more extended than the normal crypto cycles. And as Ben Cohen said, if we didn't get the ETF and we were just following a normal cycle, we should have been at 42,000 on Bitcoin, and we are now at 57,000. So we're doing amazingly, actually. We're doing absolutely amazingly. I also said to you, look, we haven't had a real correction for 427 days. And so it was time to actually get a correction. We had the correction, and now we're getting what I'm calling a V-shaped recovery. I mean, how nice is this V-shaped recovery? So the other thing that I said to you guys is that there are 2 things that have happened in the last 24 to 48 hours that have really given me conviction that I'm right here, and that we are very firmly in a bull market, and that this is nothing to panic about. The first thing that gave me the conviction is the speed of the recovery. Okay, look at that recovery. We were at 53 or 54,000. I did say to you that this happened on the 4th of July. It's 5th of July our time, but it's actually 4th of July USA time. And there were no buyers. The ETFs were closed. The markets were closed. There were no buyers. Remember, the biggest buyer right now driving the markets is the ETF. And what happened here was that they did this while the markets were closed for 4th of July holiday. And even yesterday, which was 5th of July, most people actually didn't go to work, because Americans, because they're so rich, because the government just keeps giving them stimulus money and shit like that, because they're so rich, they just take the Friday off, and then so they'll come back on Monday and they'll carry on buying. So that the first thing is the speed of the recovery is giving me hope, or telling me that I think I'm right in my conviction. The second thing is this. This is a big thing. The ETFs yesterday were actually under a test, because it's the first time since the launch of the ETFs that we've had a correction that is this bad. This is like, for us people that have been in Bitcoin for a long time, this is pretty normal, right? But for the ETFs, since the ETFs actually started, they've never seen a situation like this. And if they've never seen a situation like this, this was the test for them. Were they going to panic sell, or were they going to buy? That was the big question yesterday. And so what we saw is that yesterday, the ETFs actually bought the dip. And that's why I tweeted, I said, look, it's amazing news that in the first real crash since the ETFs bought, the ETFs, they actually bought the dip. They didn't panic sell, which was amazing. So we've now got a fast recovery. We've got the ETFs actually, buying. And I saw this tweet from Ben Cohen where he says, is this the new trend line? It looks exactly like 2019. So look at this fractal of this bull market, and then look at the same fractal of 2019. This was the COVID correction. This was their black swan event. And look at this. I mean, it's uncanny how similar these post-halving corrections are. And it does feel like we're getting there. But look, I think that this tweet is very important. The sell-offs end when the sellers run out of coins. I know it sounds obvious, but the key is to ignore where the buyers step in. Now, we did get buyers stepping in, and there could be some selling, because remember that the Mt. Gox coins are not in the market yet. They are still coming to the market, and so there will be some turbulence ahead. That I can tell you, there will be some turbulence ahead. I don't think it's just going to be up a straight line from now. There could be some more turbulence before. But the one thing that I'm actually willing to, I don't want to say put my bottom dollar on, but I do want to say with quite a high level of conviction, I believe that at the end of the year, the price of Bitcoin will be higher. I believe that at the end of the year, the price of Bitcoin may even be at an all-time high. And I know that's like, how can you say that when we're in the midst of all of this? But I'm seeing past this short-term FUD. I'm seeing the institutions start stepping in, phase 2 of the ETF buying, not phase 1, which is a small willy-nilly family offices and whatever else. I'm seeing phase 2 of the institutional buying start happening as soon as the summer's over or the summer holidays are over and everyone starts going back to work. I'm seeing all of that. I'm seeing way past this. I'm seeing this as part of a normal cycle. And so for me, I see that my suspicion is that we're going to get an all-time high before the end of the year. Now, I know that most of you didn't buy the dip. I know that most of you probably can't handle the turbulence and all this choppiness. And so I wanted to show you something that you can do that will give you exposure to Bitcoin, but will remove you from having to put a lot of money down. And I know we've spoken about this before, but I think that this is a great time to actually start speaking about this again. And what I'm talking about is I'm talking about the ability or trading options on something like Deribit. So let me just, for those of you who don't know what an option is, let me just quickly hide all of this. An option is the right to buy or sell an asset at a certain point in time in the future. So I can buy the right to buy Bitcoin or buy the right to sell Bitcoin at a future point in time. And you can see that options have expiry dates. So you can see that the expiry dates are, I mean, in this case, let's say I wanted to go all the way to the end of the year, I could go to 27th of December, 2024. And if I wanted to buy an option to buy Bitcoin at the same price which is trading today, so let's just see where it's trading today. Well, let's actually go to a little bit higher than today. Let's go to 60,000. What I would do is I would pay $9,000 now for the option to buy Bitcoin at $60,000. That means that if the price of Bitcoin goes above $60,000, I start making money. But first, I've got to cover the cost of the option that I've paid, which is the $9,000. So I only start really making money after $69,000. So if I thought that the price of Bitcoin was going to go up and I didn't have enough money to buy an actual Bitcoin, then what I could do is actually I could buy options, and I could do this on Deribit. Now, this show is actually brought to you by Deribit. What you can see is that you can just go over here. You can sign up for Deribit. There's a sign up over here today. And this is, for me, probably the easiest way and the cheapest way to get exposure to Bitcoin without having to buy a full Bitcoin. Same thing with ETH. With ETH has double catalysts. So one, you have an ETH ETF, which is coming out now, in probably the next 2-3 weeks. I mean, the ETH ETF's coming out. And so, like, for example, if you believe that ETH is going to recover, what you can do is you can buy, let's just see that I got the right date here, 27th of December, 2024. You can buy ETH options. Is this right? Could this possibly be right that the price is only $21 to buy an ETH option for the end of the year at $3,000? Because if yes, I'm going all in on this thing. All right, so talk about options and talk about what the big guns are doing. I've got Richard and Shane with us. They are two gurus. Guys, am I right here in saying that it costs $25 to buy an ETH option at $3,000 for the end of the year? Or am I seeing something wrong here?
No chance. It's more like 500.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So hold on. Options, ETH, 27 December 2024. Right? ETH options, yeah. 27 December 2024. It's giving me 28.
I think refresh your browser.
Let me refresh. I mean, either I'm going to refresh my browser or I'm aping into options here like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, otherwise, buy all of that.
Yeah, otherwise I'm aping into, I mean, it can't be $25 because if it is, I'm buying into, now it's making a lot more sense. Now it's making a lot more sense. It's about $500, which is not actually bad. While I've got you guys here, I must show you. Remember the last options that we bought? I funded this account with $10,000 and we just bought a whole lot of options the last time that we were here. And I forgot about them, to be honest. And today, because we were doing the show, I opened up my wallet. I've got myself $40,000.
Brilliant.
Just because I forgot about them. We bought them on the last show, forgot about them, got amazing exposure. So I really do think that options are an amazing way to get exposure. And I'm actually going to buy some options today because I just think that when the market's so low, you'd be dumb not to go and buy like a couple of options. I want to hear from you guys. I know that you guys love volatility. I know we had, let me just quickly get to this section here, but I know we had like 125 days of sideways movement where there was no volatility. Volatility became cheap. What was your strategy then? I mean, were you then buying volatility? What were you doing then?
Well, funny enough, sorry, Shane, do you want to go or shall I?
No, I was going to say that sideways movement was gold for us. We had accounts at all-time highs, just ding, 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 one after another, because when you recognize there's a channel, I have a rule. I play the channel is going to hold until it doesn't. So I'll take a loss when it breaks the channel, but I'll just keep playing it and playing it. So every time I got up to the top of the channel, I was selling call spreads. Got to the bottom channel, I was selling put spreads. Now, sometimes at the bottom of the channel, I would just go long options or long perpetuals or something like that to make extra money. But you just keep playing that range up and down. And it was gold.
What happens when the range broke downwards? I mean, if you're playing the channel, and there's always a risk when you're playing the channel that. Sure. I was also playing the channel, but then the range broke downwards, and it broke downwards pretty aggressively, pretty quickly.
Well, literally 30 seconds ago, Bitcoin just hit 57,800, and I took out the last of my scalp, which I bought down around 55 or something. I just recovered the entire loss from last week.
This 50,700 is a very key level. You know why? It's a level before the Mt. Gox decline. So now we are actually back at levels before Mt. Gox, believe it or not, before the Mt. Gox movement. I think,
I completely agree with your analysis you were saying before too, where you were saying, you felt that was probably the bottom. You could be wrong, but I tend to agree with that analysis, to be honest, Ryan.
So what do we do now? Okay, so as options traders, I mean, I'm going to buy a whole lot of options. Actually, I wanted to buy, you see, if I just bought them 3 seconds ago, instead of talking to you, I would have now been rich. I would have been very, very, very rich. Anyway, now I'm going to have to go back and buy them. I'm going to buy some ETH options because I think ETH's got a double catalyst. I guess the simplest trade, if you think Bitcoin's going to go up between now and the end of the year, is to just buy like calls and puts, right? Like that's like the easiest trade.
Yeah, and I'll let Rich chime in a minute, but one of the things you can do is you can, let's say you decide to buy options, whether it's ETH or you think Bitcoin's going to be at 100,000, so you buy, let's say you buy a 70,000 call or something because it'll be a little cheaper than buying one closer to the money. You can buy that long dated call and you can just sell short dated calls against it and end up paying nothing for the damn thing. It's called a diagonal. I love that.
Explain to me how that diagonal trade works, because I think a lot of people want to do it. While you're doing it, I am going to buy myself some options. Just hold on, let me just get you back. Yeah. Okay. So just explain to me how that trade works.
Yeah, basically, so you've got this long-term idea of what you think is going to happen in the market, up, down, whatever. Let's say we think it's going to go up. We think it's going to be above 100,000 by December or early in 2025. We can buy those long.
Shane, this is ETH.
Yeah, I'm buying ETH. I'm buying ETH. This is me. I'm buying ETH. I'm the one. I'm the one here who's messing around with ETH.
Yeah, whatever asset. It doesn't matter the asset. But in this case, you could buy those long-dated options. And what are you buying there, Rand? These are December 3200s?
These are December 3200s, yeah.
Okay. So the idea is that you pay the money for this option, and when you buy an option, that's the most you can lose. You don't have to worry about losing your house or anything. And you've got this option. You paid your money for it. Now, hopefully the market does what you want. But in the meantime, we can sell weekly options or monthly options every single month against that, call options as well, in order to earn premium to pay for it, because the price isn't going to go from right here to $100,000 in one candle. It's going to take some time. There's going to be spikes and dips. So every time it spikes, you might want to take that opportunity to sell some calls, earn some premium. The price falls down or goes sideways or doesn't reach your strike price. You collect all that premium and you do it over and over. Sometimes you have to do it 3, 4, 5 times. You pay for the entire thing and it's a free trade.
How much premium am I collecting every time that I want to do this? How much premium am I collecting?
Well, it depends on the price of the options, how far they are in the future, and their strike price, and of course the volatility. But you could do something systematically, like say, you know what, every month I'm going to sell a 25 delta call to pay for this, and you could just do it on the first of each month if you wanted to, or you could be more patient and say, you know what, every time the market does something kind of stupid, goes up, it's got really strong, goes up, 4, 5, 6, 7%. I'm going to take the other side of that trade. I'll sell some calls, whether they're a 50 delta, a 20 delta, whatever you're comfortable with, and collect that premium. So that amount of premium is going to vary every single time you sell. You could do this you could sell it every 3 days, you could sell it every week, you could sell it every month, whatever you're most comfortable with. I like to keep things really short dated when I'm trading crypto options.
Just quickly, guys, I put in an order here for 50 at 0.18. Am I going to get hit there? Or is there like a market maker in these things, or?
There is a market maker, but you're probably only going to, if the market moves around, you'll get hit. But if you want to get traded quickly, just put it at mid and then wait.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
I didn't see what you were buying there, Rand.
I'm buying 3200s. I'm buying
Okay.
3200 ETH at here we go.
December.
Click. Okay, let's edit the order. So I should probably pay a little bit more. So pay what, like 0.185?
Yeah. What's the best bid?
1833. Okay, let me just go 186.
Try 185. You can always walk it down. You can walk it down in.
I'm so bullish about this thing that. Okay, so now what I've actually done here is I'm now effectively long 50 ETH above 3200 for the end of the year, which is. And I can sell this, and I can sell these options at any point in time. So let's see if I can actually multiply this account. I've already 4x this account since the last time we spoke.
And we didn't talk about our commission for that trade either, right?
So let me ask you another question. So right now the volatility is high, which means that the option prices are actually quite high, right? Because we had no volatility. And so the volatility was down. And remember, options are priced, guys, relative to volatility. And now we've got quite a bit of volatility. How do I see the volatility? How do I see the volatility on the Deribit platform? If I want to see like what volatility am I paying, or how high is the volatility at the moment?
If you look on the ladder where you bought your option on the option chain where you bought your exactly where you were. Just scroll down to where your option is on the. There we are. You see the white price on the left. There's a price in ETH, and then in the white column, in between the red and the green, and then below the price is the actual volatility of that. That's the vol. Yeah, that you've paid. Okay. So you paid 68 vol for that.
And is that considered high volatility or low volatility?
It's about average for a 6-month call option on Ethereum, I would say.
And how low did this vol go while there was no movement in the market?
I think we were on Ethereum. We were seeing about 60% vol. You tend to find that vol doesn't spike quickly on down movements in ETH or Bitcoin. It tends to respond more to up movements because people tend to trade more call options than put options, and they tend to get aggressive on the upside once the market's already moving. So actually on down markets, you tend to find that vols don't go up as much as they should until people get scared right at the bottom of it, and then vols increase because everyone's buying all their options back that they sold. So it's thunder ahead. If I lose you, it's because the power's just been taken out by the thunderstorm.
Which country are you in?
So I'm in Andorra, which is a little mountainous country in between Spain and France. So we have thunderstorms every afternoon.
I've been there. Okay. So what would you? So as professional options traders, what would you guys be doing now? What do you guys recommend now? We've had volatility. We've had a correction. Your thesis sounds like my thesis that we're probably going to recover. What do you do now?
So you've just spent what I would call it 1,850 basis points on that trade, or whatever it was, $500. So you want to try and claw back that $500 ideally. So then you've got a free call. So if you go and look at, say, Shane, do we say what, the 19th of July, 2 weeks time? Is that a reasonable time frame to look at?
Okay.
On ETH as a yeah. And then we could look at something like.
Got to be careful about the 19th of July, and I'll tell you why you got to be careful about the 19th of July on ETH, because remember that there's the ETH. So when the Ethereum ETF trade happens, the grayscale version, the GBTC grayscale version of GBTC on Ethereum also opens, and there's $11 billion worth of ETH in that grayscale, and a lot of people may trade out of it. So I would be very, very, very careful around selling puts, if that's what you're implying, because you could get carried.
Yeah, understood. No, we would actually recommend selling calls against your call.
Okay. Yeah. See.
So you're deliberately limiting your profits for now, but you're not going to keep this trade. You're going to keep rolling this trade forward, and you're going to keep on taking premium every week from this trade. So you could sell. Well, Shane, what do you think? The 3,250 or the 3,300?
That's a good question. I think it just comes down to what you're comfortable with.
So you're looking for a strike where you don't think that ETH is going to get to this point in the next 2 weeks. Ideally, you're looking for, is ETH going to go up 6% in the next 2 weeks?
It could. I mean, the ETF opens, right? The ETF. I mean, you got there's a big unknown on ETH in the next 6 weeks because of the ETF. I would be very, very, very wary about taking chances on ETH. Why? Because there's just that unknown of the of the ETF. We don't know if there's a surprise trade, and we don't know if there's going to be a surprise leak out of GBTC. That's why for me, like, I know by the end of the year, whatever that's going to happen on the ETH ETF, that's going to be resolved. Like, for me, what happens, that's going to be resolved. That's going to be resolved. That's the way I see it. So, like, for me, I'm so comfortable in my position here. I've got 50 ETH. Let's just see. Yes.
Something to keep in mind, Ron. Let's just say we sell the 3,200 calls just because, hey, you think you can get a lot of premium. First of all, we would generally be out of that position by the time that expiry rolled around. We've bought them back a lot cheaper. Second of all, let's say we're totally wrong and the darn thing shoots up to 3,400. Well, we'll just roll the position. It doesn't mean we're going to take a loss. We're just going to move it further away. So that's the wonderful thing about options, is we just adjust our position.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So that's one strategy that you would do. Give me some more strategies that you would do as professional options traders now. Because I know you guys. I know you guys are degens, and I know you guys are trading. I mean, I thought that the futures traders were degens. You guys are on another level. Like, you guys are. When I hear you guys talking, I'm like, fuck. You guys make us look like we're like kids. So
what we could do is, a slightly more pro move would be to try for the best of both worlds. So we want to get that option paid for, because we want that December call to be free by September. So from September onwards, we want it to just be free money, because then we can go and do the next one. So, but in the meantime, as you say, you're afraid of selling calls in the short dates because ETH might spike up. Well, okay, so why don't we say something like, let's do a 1x2. So we'll sell one call, let's say 3,250. We receive about $220 for it.
Hold on. So let's just look at that strategy. So it's an ETH. What date are you talking about?
This is on the 19th, but actually let's do it on the 12th. Let's do it weekly.
Okay, 12th of June.
If you do this weekly, you'll make more money. You'll have a bit more heartache, but you'll make more money. So we could look at, say, the 3,250 on the 12th, which is currently trading at 81 basis points, which is 58.9 vol, and that's about $22. $23.
Okay, $25. Yeah. Call it $25. Okay.
So we could sell one of we could sell like 50 of those, and then we could go and buy 100 of the something like the 3550s.
So
then what?
Well, okay, so hold on. Let's just do this slowly. So you're buying 50, you're selling 50 of these, you're collecting $10,000, right?
Yeah.
No, you're collecting $1,000.
$1,000.
$1,000. And then you're using that $1,000 and you're buying 35 50s.
Say 35 50s, for example. Yeah. So you'll spend, but you'll only buy 100. So you'll just spend $400 of that money.
Okay. So you've hedged yourself against ETH shooting the lights out effectively.
So
right?
yeah, and if it does go on a huge rally, then you'll be gaining on your Decembers, you'll be losing on your 12th short calls, but you'll also be gaining on your long calls on the 12th at twice the rate. So if he gets up to sort of 3,400 and it would have made your 3250s look really sick, then actually your 3550s have now grown at a geometric pace. So you can sell half of those, and then you can then buy back your position and roll it to the next week, and then you can move your strikes up.
So question:
you can walk your.
When I look at this, why on Solana and on? I mean, Solana is probably the next big token. Why on Solana do the derivatives, do the options end on the 26th of July? Why are they not like December and why can't I take a price view on Solana in December?
So the long story short is that the market makers who show all these prices have to feel confident that they can always either win or break even. And if you look at that big options chain that you're looking at, they're making a price across all those dates and all those strikes. They're making about 900 prices at once, and every time the market moves a tick, they've got to reprice all 900 options. So the chances of them getting picked off are really high.
But surely these guys are automating all of this. Surely there's just one automating. Surely market maker software is completely automated.
Yes, and it's still got to update 900 prices every second.
I mean, while we're talking, the price is going back to 58,000. This is crazy. We're actually higher now than before the Mt. Gox announcement, believe it or not. Higher now than the Mt. Gox announcement, believe it or not. Guys, if I want to learn how to become a serious options trader, like walk me through where do I go, what do I do? Because I mean, every time you come here, we hear one or two strategies, they sound amazing, but I almost feel like we're out of our depth here. So if I want to learn how to be like you guys, what do I do?
Well, you can come and speak to us. We're at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
So hold on, I'm going to quickly I'm just quickly gonna just look here. So it's 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏
all one word, yeah.
Academy.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So this is, just tell me if I'm in the right place. Hold on, let's just go. Here we go. So this is the place. Now, what do I do? So I come here, and now what do I do? Do I do a course? What's the best thing to do here?
Yeah, so we have 3 levels of membership. So bronze, silver, gold. So bronze gives you access to the basic courses. Silver gives you access to the courses plus interactivity with us, and gold gives you one-on-one mentorship. And then we have a Discord channel, and Shane and I are always there to answer questions. And yeah, so we teach the basics, and we then help develop people over time. And
let me ask you a question. Like, I mean, you guys, what made you trade options versus trading futures or just trading spot? Like, I mean, what is it about options that appeal to you guys so much? Why should our guys be trading options and not just go and trade futures, spot? I mean, I know the issues with leverage and futures, but just walk me through like why you guys are so enamored by options and why you've chosen to go with options.
You can create any other instrument out of options. So you can create futures out of options. You can create effectively spot out of options. You can construct options like Lego bricks to build super complex payoff structures like the 1x2 we've just discussed, or 1x3. And so you can get really descriptive about where you think the market's going to go, and you can protect yourself. You can say, I want to set myself up to win if the market does this, but if it doesn't, I don't want to lose too much. And you can build those structures with options, just like playing Lego.
Guys, listen, I think the best thing is, guys, if you want to go, just go to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 losses, because otherwise, the truth is, I'm buying options and I'm making money because I forget about the options, but I don't actually feel smart. That's the problem. I don't feel smart. Also, guys, remember, if you want to trade options, go and open an account at Deribit. You need an account if you want to be trading. Look how fast this chat's going. I mean, have you ever seen anything like this?
I will mention, Rand, we're actually changing our website in a couple of days because, of course, Richard and I didn't start with options. Well, we did, but we've traded everything. The only thing I haven't really traded a lot of is bonds, but we're just launching a trading course, a basic trading course. I do a lot of FX in there. I do a lot of commodities, futures, stuff like that. So it's something for everyone eventually, because options can be pretty specialized and intimidating for a lot of people when they don't need to be. So we try and really simplify everything and just start people off with the basics. And I think that's really important because it's easy to feel like you get in over your head pretty quickly.
I learned what I've learned about options is, and I'm rather educated on options. I mean, I did a CFA and I've been in the broking game for a while, so I actually know enough about options. But the one thing that I've learned about options is that unless you specialize in options, you're going to get wrecked. Like, it's not options is one of those things that you got to specialize in. So I really think that the route to getting people to trade crypto options is to actually teach them what can be done with options. And once they learn what can be done with options, then people will actually trade options. Because otherwise they're doing simple trades like the one that I've just done, where I'm just buying forward. But as you've mentioned, there's 10 other opportunities that I can layer over that one simple trade, which will make that one simple trade so profitable. And so I think what people need to do is actually go and take the courses. Especially now, because we're in this period where the institutions are here. The institutions they love the options. They do use options and similar products on all other asset classes. They're going to do the same thing here. And I think what we need to do is we need to actually get into this. So guys, go and sign up. Go and sign up to Deribit. Go and sign up if you want. Again, these guys are not sponsors or anything. And just I love the guys. And as you can see, they're very, very, very smart. So go and sign up at @roguetrader.academy. Learn how to use options. But first, sign up to Deribit, because you can't trade options unless you sign up to Deribit and you get all the KYC done. Guys, thank you so much. Sending you guys a lot of love. To you guys, the Banter fam, nice to see you guys on a Saturday. My thesis is playing out. We're getting that recovery. In fact, we are now over the price where Mt. Gox happened. Either tomorrow or Monday, I will publish a buy list, because I think alts haven't recovered as much as they want, as much as they recover. Although I did say the other day, look at Celestia at like $4 and now it's at $5.50. Fuck, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. Tomorrow or Monday, I'll do a proper buy list for you guys. I'll see you guys then, either tomorrow or Monday with that buy list. Until then, guys, trade well, my friends.